Hotep, I am the Amen Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law. We are www.deceptionstoppers.com, America's only child support education service. I'm not a lawyer. This is not a law firm. I don't advocate that you don't support your human offspring. I simply advocate that you made them in private, then exercise your right to privacy and raise them in private. Today, what I'm going to do is give you a brief dissertation, and I'm going to show you how to use a Title 4D application as evidence against the child support franchise. Okay. Remember, gentlemen, by using their information against them, you cannot go wrong. All right. Number one, let's look at what an application is. And we're going to go to Black's Law. And let me move my box. There we go. All right. An application. Okay. There's a couple of different definitions, but this is the one that applies to this application. A bringing together in order to ascertain some relation or establish some connection. Okay. The other definition is the act of making a request for something. All right. So when you're applying for something, you're requesting. In our line of work, we just call it begging. All right, but no big deal. But herein lies the problem. Okay. This green definition of bringing together in order to ascertain some relation or establish some connection. Okay. Now, if you look at the application, and we're going to go over this in a minute. All right. And I'm not going to be here too long, but what I want to do is I want to show you this. Okay. So if an application, okay, is a bringing together in order to ascertain some relation or establish some connection, then there is a problem. Okay. Because on this application, and when it speaks, this application, as you're reading it, when it says I or my, my or you, all right, they're talking to the person who is applying, okay, the applicant. But here's the problem. There is no attorney-client relationship between me and the attorney, as the attorney represents the state, okay? Now, first and foremost, we all know by now, and if you don't, then you better get with the program. The Title 4D agency is not a state agency. It is a federal corporation operating in the state, and the state is assisting it, all right, in order to get its profit from its customer, okay? So, but if you look, so therefore, this is a lie. Okay, the attorney represents the state. So if the state is in on this, which I mean legally they are, okay, then guess what? If child support again, if there, where's the connection? Okay, look at this again. Look at the definition. Bringing together in order to ascertain some relation or establish some connection. But according to the application, you got no connection. All right, there is no attorney-client relationship between the applicant and the attorney represents the state. Okay. Now we already know that the American Bar Association has bought out all the attorneys. All right, you can find that in the child support manual. Okay. So there is no connection. What they're doing is, okay, they're luring these women in, okay, and giving them the the thought of, well, yeah, this service is for you. No, it's not. Okay, it is not. This application, gentlemen, is probably one of the most damaging pieces of evidence that you can use. Okay, and it's hidden in plain sight. Now, check this out. If women have a right to child support, here's the bottom one. DCS does not guarantee that efforts on my behalf will be successful, as actions taken by DCS may be subject to the discretion of a judge. Well, wow, I'd like to see how that's going to happen, because the judge is already under contract with the DCS anyway. Okay, and DCS is under the executive branch, not the judicial branch. Okay, now here's another thing that you can use for those of you who were forced in to give DNA. Okay, I must submit myself and or the children to genetic testing as it relates to establishing paternity. Okay, the applicant is required to submit themselves. You are not required. And like I told you, you have the right, you have the privilege against self-incrimination. Okay. Number two, there's fees. Okay. They got a lot of fees, and we're going to go over those too. All right. So we're going to scroll down. So when applying for service as the payee, what is a service? Let me show you something, gentlemen. Okay, and I did this breakdown, and I'm going to share this with you. Okay, right here, this is Blessings versus Freestone, and gentlemen, I'm telling you, if you read these cases, you will find out so much knowledge. The Secretary has interpreted substantial compliance as a full compliance with requirements that service be offered statewide. What is an offer, gentlemen? An offer is basically you're being asked to go into a contract. Okay, so that's full compliance. The only thing they have to do is offer this service, and that's all they're doing. Okay, they're offering a service. Now, a $25 non-refundable application fee is required. Well, wait a minute. If women have the right to child support, how are they charging them an app? You got to pay an application fee to get your rights. There's a $35 annual maintenance fee. Okay, you got to pay $35. And let's look at this. Okay, look, this is the Georgia Constitution. All right, and this is the we're using Georgia's child support application. All right, if you go here, paragraph 1, life, liberty, and property. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property unless by due process of law. What is due process of law? Adequate notice. Is there a $25 application fee for this? No. Is there a $35 annual user fee for this? No. Okay. And one thing I do like about Georgia's Constitution is this one down here. I think it's in section 2. But also, this is what you want to look at. No person shall be deprived of the right to prosecute or defend, either in person or by an attorney. That person's own cause in any of the courts of the state. What is the court for? The court is there, all right, for you to handle disputes. The court shall be open to every man for injury done him. Okay, there's no injury when people are being sued for child support. Look, self-incrimination. No person shall be compelled to give testimony in any manner to be self-incriminating. Okay, so that means you ain't got to give no DNA. Okay, you never had to give DNA. The self-incrimination is a privilege that every man has. That is a guaranteed right. Okay, so all right, let me go back here. And this is the one that I liked. And where is it at? Involuntary servitude. All right, this is a violation. Imprisonment for debt, that's a violation. But more importantly, let's go to, I think it's section 2, void. What acts void? Here it is right here. Legislative acts in violation of this Constitution or the Constitution of the United States are void, and the judiciary shall so declare them. So how is it that the judiciary have not declared these acts void? And it even says it on the application. Okay, so here it is that this corporation, all right, DCSS is not a state agency. It is a private corporation. All right, DCSS is the franchisee, all right, where the Federal Office of Child Support is the franchisor. Okay, so you can use these applications. Okay, let's say, well, sir, I'm going to order that you give DNA. No. Number one, I didn't apply for the service. Okay, the only person who has to give DNA is the person who applied for the service. You can't, all right, and not to mention, I have the privilege against giving any information about myself that will be incriminating. All right, bam. Okay, use it. It's right here. Okay, ask them. Say, well, this is a Title 4D hearing. Okay, well, who's the injured party? Who are you representing here? Well, we represent the state. Well, guess what? Child support is not ran by the state. It's ran by the Fed. So you're representing a private corporation. Okay. Number 2, I don't want your services. I don't want to become your customer. I'm not interested in becoming your customer. And in worst case scenario, let me go back here. Okay, here we go. Look, in worst case scenario, look, screenshot it. Well, sir, the Division of Child Support is excited to offer your customers a variety of self-service options. I don't want to be your customer, and I don't want your services. All right, so do me a favor. Let me be. I have the right to be free from any intrusion into my personal and private life. Okay? And I would call you a government, but you're not. You're no longer a government. You're a private corporation. That's why you have customer service. All right, so gentlemen, it behooves you to, no matter what country you preside in, all right, and listen, a country is a portion of the Earth's surface, okay? So let's say if you lived in California, the landmass of California is a country, all right? The state that oversees the maintenance of that country is a corporation, okay? You got to be very, very careful. All right, so what you want to do is start downloading and using these applications. All right, you're going to use them as evidence, all right, compelling evidence, and they cannot tell you that you're wrong. Okay. Now, be mindful. Again, I'm going to warn you. Okay, if you go into a 4D hearing, all right, and try to use this, I mean, it may work, but they're going to tell you, well, we're not here for that. We're just here because you haven't paid. All right, and there you have it. Okay, so what you have to start doing is filing actions against these robber barons. Okay, and use their website. You're going to use use the Constitution. You use it all. Okay, everything you need to know about child support is right there. Everything. Okay, especially these welfare cases. Well, you have to forward your right to receive child support services. Well, what right? I already taught you that people don't have that women don't have a right to child support. And again, gentlemen, I'm not telling you not to support your kids. All right, just saying it's a private issue. Okay, when you banged her, it was private. When y'all made love, it was private. You didn't have to, go through no rigmarole there, did you? Okay, keep it simple, keep it real. All right, and more importantly, keep it constitutional. You can't go wrong. Okay, now, like I said, I just picked Georgia's because I was doing some work in there, and I just decided I wanted to, expound on this. Use their application against them. Use their website against them. It is evidence. And gentlemen, you got to start filing some type of charges against them. It's not going to just go away. I don't care if you do it state or federal. It does not matter. If you're going to do it in state, then get yourself a detached judge, a neutral judge who is not under that Title 40 contract. All right, as usual, gentlemen, if you wish to learn more on this and wish to learn how to really, really, really use their information against them, stop by deceptionstoppers.com, schedule yourself an appointment, and we'll show you how to use it. All right, I'm the Amin Osiris, and I appreciate your time today, and Hotep.